Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Chad, manager of the eBay Partner Network. I am happy to be back, do another round of these video casts. This session is just going to be me. I am wearing a different shirt, for those of you that called that out last time. But today's session is going to be really quickly about kind of the last 3 or 4 years. And I know I've talked a little bit about that in the past, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about bringing the program in-house onto our own platform, a little bit about the pricing, and also a little bit about sort of general network quality efforts that we've been undertaking for the last couple of years. So, the eBay affiliate program, or programs, depending on how you look at it, have always been a really important part of the eBay marketplace dynamic. We definitely drive a material amount of traffic to our sellers, and we try our hardest to make that traffic as healthy as possible, as robust as possible, and as clean as possible. And so a few years ago, when we were sort of running, we'd sort of grown over the 7 years prior, sort of from 2000 to 2007, we had grown to a place where we had programs all over the world that were being run by individual teams in slightly different ways. Those differences, though, caused pretty significant difficulties when it came in managing it from a global perspective and ensuring that we were all on the same page and doing maybe the right things. So the migration to EPN was, I think, a recognition of a couple of areas we needed to address. Centralization and sort of global sets of policy and operational teams and pricing is kind of one area that we definitely needed to address. We also felt it very important to get much closer to our publisher base. We really wanted to learn much more in detail about what our bigger affiliates were doing, how they were promoting us, as well as what the not so good affiliates were doing and how they were promoting us, and really just try and get a better sense of what was going on in the channel. And the third, which is sort of tied to the second, is we really just wanted to reduce the fraud in the channel. We had seen, and it doesn't take long to read about some of the history of the space, and we wanted to make sure that we weren't exposed to any more of that than was absolutely necessary. So those are sort of the 3 areas that we felt that kind of led us to a place where we decided, we need to bring this in-house and centralize it here in San Jose. And really that was in 2007-08. And so the advent of the eBay Partner Network really came out of those areas. And so the benefits of bringing it in-house, and it was a long process to build the platform, though I give the team that built that platform a ton of credit because they did it actually pretty quickly considering the size of it. But the benefits of that now and where we are today is we now have one platform that manages all of our affiliates across the globe. We have a global team, or at least a global operations team based out of San Jose that manages every aspect of the front door registration process, to customer service, to payments, to fraud prevention, to account management, to business development. We do have a secondary office in Zurich, and they play a critical role in managing our European publishers, but for the most part, the operations aspect is managed out of here. The other benefit that we've already seen, and we've been kind of really doing well on this in the last 2 years, is leveraging the data. So it took us a little while once we built the platform to tie together a lot of the data that we then had exposure to, that new data that came to light has turned itself into a lot of powerful tools for us. And so we've been able to manage the program a lot more precisely. That led us to a much more aggressive fraud stance. So the ability to detect, investigate, enforce, and then sort of go after the bad guys that are really in there trying to sort of make an easy buck and extract money out of the system without actually earning that money. We've gotten significantly better at that, and that's been very challenging, but also a very good part of this move in-house. The last one is pricing. So taken to the next step is you can continue to use that data for figuring out who the best partners are or the worst ones are, and then sort of one-to-one taking action against or working more closely with on the upside with publishers. But at the same time, it makes a lot more sense, or it became apparent to us that it made a lot more sense to roll out a dynamic pricing model that would do that sort of for us. We started this in late '08 with value-based ACRU pricing, and that system was extraordinarily successful for us. It literally, we were able to increase the best performing or the top tier payout ACRU earners by 86% and drop the lowest performer affiliates by 80%. What I mean explicitly there is we increased payouts to those in the top earning category by 86%, and we dropped those payouts by 80% in the bottom tier. So you can see right there, it didn't happen all right away. You rolled out that pricing mechanism, you watched as the population drove ACRUs to us, and then we started to assess those ACRUs, cluster them at the publisher or at the campaign level, and figure out kind of who's driving the really valuable ones and who's driving the not so valuable ones. And to be frank, it was pretty clear. It wasn't like there was some nuances to this. Some of it was sort of black and white. And I think that gave us the confidence to want to go do QCP, and so we wanted to take the pricing to the next level. And so we started to roll out quality click pricing, as you're all aware of, and I don't want to get into the details about that in terms of how it works and what we reward for, but conceptually at a high level, it has had the effect we want it to have, which is to improve the performance and the payouts for the better affiliates and decrease those for the ones who aren't necessarily driving the incremental traffic. That pricing mechanism has also reinforced the manual efforts the network quality team has done to get the bad apples out of the system by basically removing some of the incentives. So if you pull the money out of it, they basically will go away, and that's kind of what's happened. I think we have more work to do going forward to make sure that new fraud models don't come around and catch us by surprise and then start to see a new problem arise. But at the same time, from everything we're seeing, we're not seeing that yet. What we are seeing is our program is as popular as it's ever been. We're seeing an increase in performance for a wide variety of affiliates. And we're just seeing a better perception of our program internally here in our finance organization, in our general marketing organization at the executive level. And so it's really hitting on all cylinders. And I wanted everybody to know that it is working and it is going to get better. And we are going to improve things over time to hopefully get more money for the channel, to spend on affiliates, to drive better payouts, to get more placements across more websites, and ultimately get more traffic to our seller base. So I'll leave it at that. A couple of quick stats, actually one quick stat of the day on this one is we receive around a few hundred applications per day in the eBay Partner Network at the network level. We only accept a very small percentage of those, and we do so through a series of decisions that we make based on what we get from the affiliate applicants. It's not because we don't want, more traffic. It's that when we look at the money we do have to spend and the kinds of affiliates that are applying, we are trying to get the best of the best. So, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a difficult door to get through. All I can say about those of you who are looking to get through that door is the more straightforward you are with us and the more information you provide to us on your application. And I would say taking an extra 3 to 5 minutes to fill out an application for a business relationship doesn't seem unreasonable. It would be good to, that's one tip is, give us more information about how you plan to promote us, any domains you have out there. The more information you can give us, the better chance you're going to have of getting into the program. So that's it for now. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Looking forward to more of these in the future and hope things are going well for your business. Bye-bye.